Nuuspod, die tuiste vir Afrikaanse stories agter die nuus.
Hierdie episode is moontlik gemaak deur Elite, Welding and Safety Solutions en Pipe Supply. Good day everyone. So I'm here today in the hospital in the cardiac ICU with Billy Macleod. Hello Billy.
Hello Teresa.
Yeah, thanks for seeing me.
No, thank you.
I don't know if it's good circumstances, but yeah, I'm glad to be here and to be able to tell your story and to hear your story. So Billy, let's start and tell people, what are you doing here?
Basically waiting for a heart. Sounds hard, but yeah, a few years of problems with my heart now, and it's got to a point where they can't do anything more, so a transplant is the only way that I can get sorted out.
So I think I should just tell people, I got to know Billy through cycling, and while I was cycling, I've seen him so many times at so many different events, and Billy was always this energetic, lively, fit, and always running and going and doing everything. You've been a athlete yourself,
Yeah, for 30 years,
and competing in the in different fields. Yeah. You've been a cyclist. So I got to know Billy through cycling, and you've been an athlete yourself, Billy.
Yeah.
Just tell people, give them a bit of background, what the things you've been doing.
Well, I've done 10 Ironmans, I've done Epic, I've done Comrades, I did the old Ultra series, which is one of the older series. I've done the majority of the ultra events. I've run city to city. I've done 3 tours down to Durban.
Okay, so basically you've done everything.
Yeah, I had a good sport life.
Yeah, busy. And then Billy, what happened?
And Teresa, after 2013 Epic, I thought I was really fit. I raced 94.7. We got a second place on the tandems,
which is really good.
It was really, that was a great achievement, and I thought I was really, really fit. So I started, because I was a spinning instructor as well. After a spinning class, I'd get extremely tired. I just out of the blue, I started getting tired. I was exhausted. My day started off tired. I was tired. And then I went to the GP to have my ECG done, and they couldn't pick up anything. They said there was nothing wrong. And a few weeks later, I went again because there was definitely. I know that I'm fit. I know that I'm strong. So there was no doubt in my mind there was nothing wrong. And she then sent me to a cardiologist to actually have it checked out. When I got to him, he actually said to me, I need a pacemaker. It's like, crazy, I'm fit. My resting heart rate was like at 42 beats a minute, which was like extremely low. Yeah. Which he then told me, it's actually quite bad to have a low heart rate that low.
Okay.
So, which I didn't think of. I mean, we all cyclists, we all know, what a resting heart rate is a great heart rate.
Yeah.
I went for a second opinion, and they booked me in the next morning for a pacemaker. So the pacemaker would just elevate my heart rate so that it doesn't drop below 50. So it kept it going. I went back to riding again. I was actually doing quite well. And then 2 years later, I started feeling really, really ill. I started getting blackouts. I was still tired. I'd get dizzy when I get up. I just thought it was because you get up quickly. But clearly not.
They say it's a sign of old age, hey?
Yeah, no, that one.
You don't need drugs when you're older. You just get up
When
quickly.
you pass out. So, yeah, no, the old age did creep in all the time when you speak to people. Like, oh, you're getting old.
Yeah, well, I think we should just tell people you're 53, which is actually quite young.
It's still very young. And I mean, there's people, I mean, if you look at all the vets and stuff, they're all my age and older, and they're still racing really, really well. So we actually thought it was a neurological problem. And when you go in, they booked me in for an MRI scan. And when they booked me in, they actually picked up that I was having ventricular fibrillation. That means that your resting heart rate would go from 80, 90, 150 at one stage. Out of the blue. It was one stage. I have photos at home where my heart rate was sitting at 230.
Yeah.
So that was a major concern. They managed to defibrillate me and bring my heart rate back down again. And I was in the hospital for a while, and the only solution that they had is they had to do a lung MRI. Beg my pardon, a heart MRI. Then they picked up the only solution would be to put a RCD unit in.
Okay,
So
that's
that one. So it's a.
We can just show it. You will take a picture as well.
Yeah.
Sure,
it's made by Medtronics. So they installed it into my system. So basically what it does is when your heart rate is erratic, because I was having very, very erratic heart rates. So the minute it's erratic, they set the RCD at a certain level. So the minute it reaches then it's erratic. It gives you one hell of a shock. And it brings your heart rate back to normal again.
Okay.
And then during that period, I also found they did tests, and they found out that I had a thing called sarcoidosis, which affects lungs, spinal cord, and soft tissue. But it had actually gone into my heart and started affecting my heart. So what it was doing is it was causing short circuits in my heart, and it would keep sending my heart rate into a complete frenzy. So basically the bottom part of my heart just vibrates, so it doesn't pump blood out into my system. And that's where all the problems start. So it shocks.
Okay, so let's fast forward to here and now. So 2 weeks ago you had an incident.
Yeah.
And so what happened?
They couldn't sort that out, so I went what they call ablation. So what they do is they go in through your groin, and they actually burn all the short circuits of your heart out so that it doesn't short circuit anymore. So I've had 4 sets of that. And then they tried one more time because obviously the medical, you need to have tried everything, all medication, if it's not just a matter of getting on and off you go.
Yeah.
So they tried one more set of ablations 2 weeks ago, and the doctor that does the ablations, Dr. Ruan Lowe from Midstream, he actually said to Dr. Castle that it's the last, he cannot do any more because they've burned so much of the heart, it's like really become weak. So they did the op on the Friday, and Saturday morning the short circuits were back again. So it was a huge concern of him, but he says he knows exactly where the problem was, and we'll go in, quickly sort it out, and then it's done. So they were hoping that they could isolate all of the problems, and it'll be away. And then Saturday afternoon, they were back again. So he went in, and they spread more than what has been for. So with all the ablations, it's just getting worse and worse and worse.
And at the moment, am I right, you've got 27%?
Of my left ventricle.
Yeah, Billy, that's scary.
Yeah.
So basically, if I'm right, your heart is worn out. It's
Yeah, it's
And if you don't get a heart, is it you won't be able to?
no. Unfortunately, if you don't get a heart, you will pass away. And if it wasn't for Medtronics and for the RCD device, I wouldn't have been here today.
Billy.
It's really and truly it's a life-saving device.
So, Billy, you on the list, on the heart transplant list
Yes.
at the moment, and the next available heart that comes in will basically,
Yeah, we open that.
if it's a match.
Yes.
But how do you feel? Is it? Are you lying here and just hoping for a heart from the moment you just praying for a heart?
Teresa, a week back, I was ready to give up. I wanted them to switch the device off because I couldn't anymore. I was in a complete depression. I really didn't want to be around anymore. It's been a problem for my family. It's been a problem for friends. I can't go out. I can barely walk like 100 meters.
Then you're tired.
Then I'm tired and I'm exhausted and I'm petrified that the machine goes off again. When I got
because you had 22 shocks.
Yeah, I've had
already.
22 already.
Yeah, that is.
So cat has 9 lives, I've had 22.
Yeah, and you say it's like terrible every time.
Yeah, it's really hard, but if I look back what I've been through, I'm solely grateful that I've actually had the device. And since they've moved me, yeah, it's almost like I've had this whole change in life. It's like there's hope for life. And when they explain the transplant process to you, it really is. It's an unbelievable process. It's not as intricate as what it was when Chris Barnard did it. They've said they do 2 to 3 transplants like in a day.
Yeah.
So
Incredible.
it's unbelievable, and it's just given me that much more hope. And once you've had the transplant and you've gone through the recovery period, life is almost back to normal. You obviously need to take medication for rejections, but life goes back to normal. So I'd absolutely love to get back to riding again. I've contacted one of the bike suppliers to see if they could help me with the e-bike and get back and actually promote. And there's people out there that must be feeling like me. There must be guys that have had the same symptoms as me. And not to give up, just carry on going.
But I hope it's not your
No, trust me, I'll be screaming more than that.
Billy, but I know it's a terrible question, but are you scared of dying?
I won't die. I'm not going to die, but it was a fear at one stage. Then it became a reality that it's going to happen. But now even last night I had to go in for a procedure to change my pacemaker because my battery was running flat. And it's silly things that you don't think of, that a battery runs flat of it. So it basically had one more shock. And if it shocked me, if I needed a second one, it would have been over, yeah.
Okay. But now you've got new battery.
I've got a brand new battery and I'm ready to go again.
Billy, but I must tell you, from my perspective, you always hear, or we are very aware of the importance of being a donor.
Yes.
And getting on the list. But I must tell you, your perception changed quite a bit when you sit in front of somebody like me now.
Yes.
And I realized, but this is the reality.
Yeah.
This is how real it is. So I think it's important to tell people out there why they should consider being on the list and being a donor.
But it is true. When you're sitting on this side of the fence, you've always thought of donating, and it's never been an issue because it doesn't affect your life.
Yeah.
Now it's affected you, so you've become way more aware of it. And speaking to all because it's a whole medical team that you have to speak to, and the donation, the woman, the coordinator, says it is such a problem that people donate because it's obviously they think of it in a really harsh way, because obviously you're mourning the death of somebody. But you're actually saving 9 more lives for somebody else to carry on your happiness. So donating has become a really, it's hard. People don't want to donate because of cultures and religions and stuff. And just on the groups that I've been on, people have really changed the way that they think about donating. Because you have passed on, and to pass your organs on to somebody else, I really think is unbelievable. And it's what you're waiting for. It's lungs, it's eyes, it's skin. So there's so many ways to donate, and I really hope that I can start a drive to create the awareness of donating.
You get out there, is that what you want to do?
That's exactly what I want to do, to create that awareness of donating, because it really is people mourning their loved ones, and you've only got a very short window to be able to transplant. So it has to happen quickly, and then there's no agreement that they can use your organs.
Billy, so stuff that you still want to do if you get out here. And
when I get out.
When you, when.
I would absolutely love, Darwin Bikes have started looking at helping me with the e-bike, which will also help me then start creating a career for myself, get back into the bike business again, not as much as the transport, but I want to go and ride a few more races. I want to show people that you're not at the end of the world when you've been given it, when you're a donor. You can carry on life. And
you're also a father. I've met your daughter before.
Yeah.
I can't believe she's 16
It
already.
makes you, that also changes your whole way of thinking. You know, if they weren't there, I've got a grandson overseas that I'd love to go and see, but I can't go because of my heart. I can't fly, I can't do anything. So I'd love to go and see.
Okay, it's not from the 16-year-old.
No.
Okay.
It's just from a previous marriage.
Okay.
And so I'd love to go over and see him and visit him and get to know him, and he's got a sister on the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's just given me a whole new lease on life. And it's exciting. I think I've got more to offer than what I've ever had before, because I've gone through a great experience, a terrible experience.
And you're able to
come out and tell the story.
Yeah, so let's just hold thumbs that you will get your heart. And I know it's quite a weird concept, because there's other people also waiting for organs.
Yes.
And
But also, Teresa, it's just, I want to make the awareness of all of us cyclists. We all make the same mistakes, We train when we're sick, because we've paid to go to a race, we're snotty, we're sick, we've got a chest. And listen to your body. And I picked up all the symptoms. I was tired, I was exhausted, I had chest pains.
And you still trained?
And I trained and I left it. So, you know what, if that race is not going to go away, you're going to pay a little bit for an entry fee, but you know what, your life is worth more than a heart attack.
You're so right. I think it's such an important
And we
issue.
all have done it. Every single one of us have done it, and we're still doing it. I mean, when I was transporting, the guys would come there and pick their bikes up, sick. And you talk to them and they don't listen. It's a reality. I'm living proof that you mess up your body, and you don't regret it at the moment.
No.
But now, if I look back, there's half the things I wouldn't have done because of this.
I think it's really an important message. No, Billy, but thank you so much.
Thank you, Teresa. Thank you for everything. And I want to carry this on further after, so I will.
Please get well now and get out
and then
of here.
I'll do another one, and then we can go ride together. You and I can go and ride a race together.
Absolutely.
So it'll be your turn to pull me instead of him.
With a new bionic heart.
Ach, now I'm going to ride away from all the praise.
Thanks Billy.
Thank you,
En,
Teresa.
Nuuspod, die tuiste vir Afrikaanse stories agter die nuus.